Sound Partners 1, Lesson 11. Today we will learn about a new sound and letter. The new sound we will learn today is the sound of G, like in girl. This is made by the letter G. Let's practice identifying the sounds that each letter makes. Ready? Ah, octopus. H, hat. Moon. T, table. Ah, like in nail. G, g. Like in apple. D, dog. K, cat. S, sun. G, d. Let's practice those again. Our new sound is G, like girl. Say the word girl. Now let's practice with the other sounds. Ready? Ah, t, ah, g, g, d, k, s, g, d. Now I will point to a letter and you say the sound that that letter represents. Ready? That's the sound ah, like octopus. That's our new sound today. It makes the g like girl sound, made by the letter G. Next sound. Did you say n like nail? If you did, you are correct, and that is made by the letter N. What about this letter? Did you say like moon? If so, you're correct, and that is made by the letter M. D, like dog, made by the letter D. S, like sun, made by the letter S. One more. T, like table, made by the letter T. Now get your paper and pencil ready as we learn how to form the lowercase and uppercase G.
Lowercase g. 1. Circle back all the way around. Push up straight. Pull down straight. Curve back. Lowercase g.
Okay, pick up your pencil. Now let's practice forming the lowercase g along with the video.
Lowercase g. 1. Circle back all the way around. Push up straight. Pull down straight. Curve back. Lowercase g.
Now put your pencil down and let's watch as the video shows us how to make an uppercase G.
Uppercase G. 1. Circle back. Slide left. Uppercase G.
All right, pick up your pencil and now let's practice.
Uppercase G. 1. Circle back. Slide left. Uppercase G.
Now let's practice identifying the sounds we hear. I will play 8 sounds and you will write the letter that represents the sound that you hear. Ready? Here's our first sound. Here's the second sound. The third sound.
D.
The fourth sound.
N.
The fifth sound.
G.
The sixth sound.
A.
The seventh sound.
A.
And the last sound. All right, let's check to see how you did. The first sound T is made by the letter T. The next sound you heard was H, made by the letter H. The third sound D, made by the letter D. The fourth sound N, made by the letter N. The fifth sound G, made by the letter G. The sixth sound A, made by the letter A. The seventh sound Ah, made by the letter O. And the last sound K, made by the letter C. Did you get our new sound correct today? Now we're going to practice breaking apart words into their sounds using the sound boxes. The first word we're going to break apart is the word bake, like you would bake cinnamon rolls in an oven. Ready? The first sound in bake is B. Next sound A, and the last sound K. B, A, K. Bake. The next word we will pull apart is the word Tad. Tad is a boy's name. The first sound in Tad is T. The next sound A, and the last sound D. T, add, tad. The next word is dot. First sound D. Second sound ah, and the last sound T. D, ot, dot. The next word is cat. K, at, k, at, cat. And the last word today is the word sag, like the bridge is sagging. The first sound in sag is s. Next sound a, and the last sound g. Sag, sag. Now we're going to practice reading our words. We're going to sound these out and then say them fast. Watch as I demonstrate with the word in the box. Got, got. All right, now let's do the same with the words below. Ready? Got, got. ag, tag, at, hat, am, sam, and, on, ag, nag, og, cog, ought, not, at, mat, at, ad, sad, ag, sag, ack, mac, mom. What sound does tag begin with? Tag begins with the sound t. What sound does tag end with? Tag ends with the sound of g, like girl. What sound does cog begin with? Cog begins with the sound of k. What sound does cog end with? Cog ends with the sound of g. What sound does got begin with? Got begins with the sound of g. What sound does got end with? Got ends with the sound of t. Now let's practice spelling some words. The first word we're going to practice spelling today is the word got. Remember to use your sound boxes to break apart the sounds to help you figure out what letters make the sounds in the word. Let's do the first one together. Got. Got. Now write the letters that represent the sounds that you hear in that word. The next word is the word tag. Listen for the sounds, then write the letters that represent the sounds to make the word tag. And the next word is the word on. Listen to the sounds in the word and then write the letters that represent the sounds that you hear to make the word on. All right, let's check to see how you did today. The first word got, got, G-O-T. The second word tag, ag, T-A-G. And the last word is on, O-N. How did you do today? Did you get our new sound at the beginning of the first word and at the end of the last word? Today we're going to learn two new sight words. We don't sound out sight words. Sight words are words we just have to remember. This word is a, or we sometimes say it as a. You read it. Now let's point and spell it. A. What is the word? A or a. This word is the or the. You read it. Now let's point and spell it. T-H-E. And what's the word? The or the. A or a, the or the. Now let's practice reading some sentences. I'll give you just a minute to practice reading the two sentences by yourself. Pay attention that the sentences end with a new mark at the end. In the past, we've been seeing a period at the end, which means that the sentence is telling us something. Today, our two sentences end with an exclamation mark. That means that this is an excited sentence. An exclamation mark means that whatever comes in front of it is excited. So practice that as you are practicing those sentences by yourself. All right, let's practice those together. Ready? Am, Sam, at, sat, Sam sat on, Sam sat on a or a, at, cat. Sam sat on a cat. Now, this is an excited sentence, so we need to read it like we're excited. Sam sat on a cat. Now let's try the bottom sentence. The at cat, the cat at sat, the cat sat on, the cat sat on a at hat. The cat sat on a hat. Oh, this is an excited sentence, so I need to read it like I'm excited. The cat sat on a hat. Now let's read both sentences using our excited voice. Ready? Sam sat on a cat. The cat sat on a hat. Now you try one more time by yourself. Today we're going to reread the book Sam that we have read in previous lessons. Let's start with the title, Sam. Sam. Sam and cat. Sam and cat. Matt. Matt and Matt and cat. Matt and cat. And Sam at Matt. Sam, Matt, and Sam, Matt, and cat. Sam, Matt, and cat. Did you remember to pause when you came to the commas as you were reading? At cat sat, cat sat on, cat sat on Sam. Cat sat on Sam. At Matt sat on, Matt sat on Sam. Matt sat on Sam. Add sad, Sam, Sam, sad Sam. Add sad, at Matt, sad Matt. Sad Sam, sad Matt. Remember, we're going to read it in our sad voice because our characters in our story are also sad. So we want the listener to know that the characters are sad in the story. Sam sat, Sam sat at Matt sat, Matt sat. Now let's read these 2 pages again. Sad Sam, sad Matt. Sam sat, Matt sat. Okay, Sam. Okay, Matt. Okay, cat. The end. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning of the story and I'm going to let you practice the story by yourself. Ready? That is the end of today's lesson.